Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to discuss my 45th birthday party, which happened last Saturday. It's the 24th right now. My birthday was on the 22nd. When I looked it up on the calendar ahead of time, I saw my birthday was going to be on a Saturday, which only happens like every 6 to 7 to 8 years. I decided that I wanted to have a dinner, but when I thought about doing this at home, I just got kind of stressed out because there's cooking, prepping. I'm sorry, there's shopping, prepping, cooking, hosting, cleaning. I just didn't want to do all of that. So I started thinking about some of the really good restaurants that I had been to. One of them was Founding Fathers. Now, please understand this is not an ad. I'm just telling you about my experience with them. So when I looked up Founding Farmers, I had been to two in DC. I live in the DMV area. When we say DMV, we mean District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. So I've been to like two in DC, and they were so good. It's so amazing. And when I looked up the party section, where you could schedule like parties, weddings, corporate events, they said like, "Hey, how many people are you thinking about coming?" And I was like, probably I think about probably 35. They was like, Tyson's is the area you need to have it in, which was better for me because trying to have anything in DC with the parking situation, bad idea. So I knew the Tyson's location, and it's extremely nice. I filled out the form online, which I will link down below, and I got the confirmation email saying, "Hey, we got your request for a party here. One of our party coordinators will reach out to you." So to my shock, because I was assuming I was going to get like an email, text message from someone, I got an actual phone call from Miss Maria, who is their large party coordinator. She introduced herself to me. She explained the logistics. She's like, "Hey, we'll be more than happy to host your party. Um, this is the pricing that we do. You can either have a buffet type of style, or you can have a plated meal. We need like an exact head count by this date, and we need you to select your menu by this date." And then she was like, "If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. I have zero problem with that," which is a good thing because I have a tendency to send out emails at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Maria can attest to this. I probably sent her about one or two email messages at like 1 o'clock in the morning. But she was prompt in answering. She didn't answer them at like 1:30 in the morning. She did answer them the next day, but she was always responsive. I never worried about will Maria contact me back. She was always very responsive. One time I actually asked her in an email, like, "I have a stupid question. If I feel like my question's stupid, I will preface it by saying I have a stupid question, because I feel like you're probably rolling eyes." But she was very kind, very sweet. In case you're wondering, the stupid question I asked was, "Do the people pick the meal, their entree ahead of time, or do they pick it at the restaurant when they're there?" They pick at the restaurant when they were there. I just wanted to make sure because I wasn't sure if it was like my sister's wedding where we had to ask them chicken or fish ahead of time. So you have the buffet option, which you choose like your appetizer, dessert, and I think like a couple of mains. You choose the mains for them. Then you had the dinner. With the dinner, you choose the appetizer, you choose the dessert, but then there are six main options that they get to pick. I looked at the options. I like dinner option one. It was the best price for what I wanted, and the menu had something for everybody. Whether you were vegetarian, vegan, you only eat fish, you only eat chicken, no red meat. It had something for everyone. So I knew that this was a menu that everybody would love. Now, when it came to the appetizers, I chose spinach dip. Sorry, wings, and then I sent the menu to a friend of mine. He was like, "Can you get the cornbread? I've been to Founding Farmers before. Like, get the cornbread. You're not going to be disappointed. Please get the cornbread." So I added on the cornbread. I'm not going to say how much adding it on was because I know the prices are subject to change, and I don't want to make anybody mad at me because I got a certain price and then you got a certain price. So that's why I'm not saying prices, because I know prices are subject to change. but having the extra appetizer did cost me a certain amount per person to have the extra appetizer added. Now, those appetizers, I will say this right now, were so good. Oh my gosh. The cornbread. Now, I've had some messed up cornbread before in my life. I've had cornbread that was cooked on top, burnt on the bottom. I had cornbread that wasn't all the way done. I had cornbread that was hard. Like, what are you doing? This cornbread was cooked to perfection. You can tell that thing was made fresh. It came in an iron skillet. It had that good honey butter. That's the right that's the right texture where it's not too hard, it's not too soft, it's not too honey, it's not too butter. Everything was perfect. The wings, I'm telling you right now, that things was seasoned to the bone. Okay, whoever seasoned the wings did not play with you. They were 100% legit. I'm telling you, I know for a fact that some of them bones went back and the gristle was missing. Okay, because I know my family. Some of them took that gristle off the bone. It was so delicious. And then the spinach dip. Now, some of my family members have an issue with dairy, so spinach dip is, if it looks too much like cream soup with spinach in it, they won't eat it. As soon as it came out, it looked perfect. There was just the right amount of spinach and the right amount of cream. And so they were lapping it up, and the chips were fresh. And if you know what I mean, you know the difference between a fresh chip and a hard chip. And no, these chips were so good. And I did not know at the time that my nephew, who is 6, who was there, um, he he his spinach is his favorite, so he ate that up. Now, the desserts, I chose to have the chef's selections. There was a chocolate type of thing where it was like chocolate covered strawberries, chocolate covered this, chocolate. But I know everybody's not the biggest fan of chocolate. I am. I love chocolate, but I had to think about just not myself, but the guests as well. So I did choose a chef's option, which came with mini key lime pie, mini cheesecake, and donuts. And it was like came out on a cutting board. It was all sitting there, and it was distributed. And then like every like section got a cutting board full of food. Now I will say this: Maria did ask me if I wanted long tables, if I wanted short tables. When you see the sunroom picture, you you see one side is a long table and you see shorter side. So that gives you an idea of what this is going to look like. Now, if it was like a smaller group, I would have like 16 people, I would have probably said smaller tables. But because we were such a large group of 30, we had really long tables. And I think I'm rounding up because that was the count I believe I gave her. But I think some people didn't show. Uh, so, what else? Now, the atmosphere. Uh, Now, when I was told the sunroom, I was a little concerned simply because I just know how the sun can come through windows. I've been to other establishments where it made the area too hot. I have a friend who sunburns while driving their car. I've been in a situation where not just the area was hot, but the chairs were hot. The sun was blinding you the whole time. So you were just uncomfortable. This sunroom was absolutely splendid. Okay, it never got hot. You The way they decorated it, you were never blinded by the sun. And mind you, this is August. Okay, the sun is out. The sun is not playing with nobody's feelings right now. It is for real. No one was complaining about it being too hot, that the sun was in their eye, that they were being burned, or they were adjusting or moving around so they wouldn't have to touch anything. Yeah, the sunroom was so beautiful. And then the ceiling was very high. So it felt light and airy, and it gave you that feeling that you were sort of outside anyway, just because of the way that the room was shaped and the sun was filtering in. You felt like you was outside. And now the sunroom is marked as semi-private. However, no one who wasn't supposed to be there walked through. Like, you have to intentionally walk into this area to be where we are. You can go past us and never. So it does say it's semi-private. That's only because people can like look in and see, but they have no need to walk through this area. Now, I will say the staff was absolutely superb. I did not notice at the time, but my mom had flown in from Georgia as a surprise to me, along with the painting that she had made of me. And she had got there a little bit earlier than I did. I told Miss Maria that I was going to get there around 4:30 just to make sure everything was okay and to also greet my guests. So I got there at 4:30. My mom had actually got there a little bit earlier than me, and she was sitting at the bar, and she actually told the bartender like, "Hey, I'm here to surprise my daughter." And he told a waiter who told somebody else who told the hostess. And so when I got there, the hostess told me like, "The room's not ready, give us a minute." I was like, "Okay, no problem. Mind you, I'm here 30 minutes early. I'm not tripping over that." What I did not know is that they were holding me there so that the bar is here, the hostess is here, the sunroom is here. Mom's sitting at the bar. They held me here so that my mom could take the long way around and be standing. So when I walked in, I can see her standing there to say hi to me and surprise me. And they also propped up the painting she made of me so I can see it as I walked in. And so the fact that they took that time to have that attention to detail meant everything in that moment, because it was just that moment of me and my mom and just seeing and just seeing her face and seeing and her seeing me and just being so surprised and know that the staff all worked together to make that moment happen for me was everything, and I loved it. Uh, Let me try to think of what else. The food, the actual entrees, cooking for that many people. I'm always wondering or worried that, what if it's a little cold? What if someone's food is underdone because it's a mass quantity of food? Let me tell you that everything was absolutely top tier, 100% quality. Okay, everybody's food came out piping hot, properly cooked. And some people ordered the steak, so you saw little flags of well done, medium. You saw little flags so they knew whose food belonged to who. And when it comes to food, my family's a little stingy. Like, this is mine. If you want it, go get yours. But the fact that you had people going, "This is so good, you have to taste it," and they were sharing is a huge deal. That's how good that food was. This food was so good that my family was willing to share. Mom shared a steak with me. I had somebody share their salmon or salmon, depending on how you pronounce it, with me. Somebody had fried chicken with a donut. A bunch of people had that. Me personally, I had the gnocchi. It was sausage and mushrooms, and that is so good. It had so much flavor, and it was like good sizes of sausage. It was like somebody took that big country sausage that you get and they cut that up and put it in there. I've had, sausage dishes where you can like, there's like three pieces of sausage in it. It's like, why? But this one had healthy, hearty chunks of sausage and huge hunks of mushroom, and you was gnocchi everywhere, and everything had been seasoned properly, and that matters to me so much. That's why I talk about it so much. Um, so it was just such a good time, and everybody was like, "How did you find this place? All the food is delicious. We got to come back." They other places, and I'm just telling them about other locations for Founding Farmers, and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good." And then this is the point that the staff kind of came to me, and they were like, "Hey." Well, before I'm sorry, before the dessert came out, they did do my birthday, uh, sort of like celebration, where they came out with chocolate strawberries for me with whipped cream and sprinkles, and then a candle, and the way to start is singing happy birthday to me, which of course my whole family joined in. And I'm pretty sure the entire restaurant but it was so good. It was so sweet. And then that's when they brought out everybody else's dessert. So they're eating up desserts. And this is the point where the staff member came up to me and said, "Hey, you didn't hit your minimum. You can make it up by ordering like more drinks or getting more desserts, and we can fill up the gap. Say less." I made an announcement to my entire family, and they was like, "Wait, another drink? Say less." Okay. I'm telling you, they swarmed that waiter like they were sharks. with drink menus in their hand. The kids are getting lemonades. The adults are getting like some margarita hibiscus thing. I don't know. I got a drink as well. I got a shot, and then he said, "Hey, we're good to go." I am not surprised. Them people ordered, you know, as much as they did once you tell them, "Hey, you got to help a girl out. We about to make this. We about to make some. We about to make it rain up here." Um, so now this location does validate parking. So they validated everybody's parking. So everybody got to eat in a comfortable location, good food, have a good time, and all they had to do was come out and have fun. And the staff was on point. The food was delicious. The ambiance was perfect. I would highly recommend Founding Farmers for any large event. They know how to do it and they know how to do it right. Miss Maria was absolutely 100% on her job. She's about her business. I felt at that time like I was the only person she was talking to, and I know I wasn't. I know she's probably handled about 30 other events, but she never made me feel like I was annoying her or she was overwhelmed. And she answered any question that I had. She even made the accommodation of making sure I had a high chair because one of the parents there were bringing a 16-month-old, and I wanted to make sure that that person would be comfortable. And they made sure it was in my contract that I got a high chair, and the high chair was there. Uh, Everything was what I imagined and even more. They even had a huge table there for me to put my gifts on. So I didn't have to have like try to fumble around with all these gifts. They had a table right there just for that. It was a stress-free party. For a dinner for 30 people, I left happy with the only job having to do is drive home. So that's the way you want a party to be when you have it at a restaurant. Founding Farmers knows how to do it right. You will have constant contact. It will be exactly what you mentioned. The food is good, the ambiance is great, the staff is superb, and it is completely stress free. I would highly recommend Founding Farmers for anyone who wants to have a large party, just a dinner for yourself. I'm going to go back for just myself because there was a couple things on that menu I did not get to try, and I got to go back. I'll just be honest with you guys. But that was my 45th birthday celebration, which Miss Maria did allow me. She did ask me if I want to put anything on the menu, uh, to like write about myself or to like headline, and that's what I wrote. I wrote 45th birthday celebration, and I kept one as a keepsake. I was so glad I got to keep one. Once again, I would highly recommend Founding Farmers. The one I went to is in Tyson's, and I stayed in the sunroom. Now, if you have like 100, like I think it's like 150, they have like a room upstairs for you. That's like fully private. Uh, but with that being said, thank you so much for listening about my 45th birthday celebration at Founding Farmers. In life, there's black and white, but with your girl right here, you're getting at least one shade of gray. Bye, guys.